If you want to know the place to go to see a live entertainment show, and you're poking around Central Illinois, look up CU Bands and Fans for the latest shows and bands. You never miss out on your weekend party plans.
Hey, so this is Terry with CU Bands and Fans and our co-host Zack Widup. And as we're just kind of hanging out waiting on our guest tonight, we decided we would do just kind of a little chat podcast, talk about the music scene a little bit, and some of the things that that Zack's been up to, and some very cool thing that he's got going on is he's part of bringing in the Blues Fest that's coming up in August. So what's up with that, Zack?
Well, we've been working on it. I think we're still working on booking some acts for it. We were trying to get some headliners. We got some local bands playing, and I'm not sure exactly where that stands. We're having a meeting this Thursday, our monthly meeting. We'll discuss that more, but it's the weekend of the 13th. I think August 12th is a Friday night, and we're having a blues jam in the parking lot of Bunny's, and that's followed by a band playing. I forget who the band is. And then Saturday after that is the Blues Festival itself, which is also going to be in Bunny's and the Rose Bowl parking lots. We decided to try something different this year. Instead of doing it at the Champaign County Fairgrounds where we've had it, we thought we would try something actually in town, and Bunny's was willing to help us with it. So we're going to go with that, and it should be pretty good.
Perfect spot. And it's going to be outside.
Yes.
Hopefully, if the weather's good. And do you know what time this is going to start about?
Probably early afternoon, 1 or 2 on that Saturday. That's when they've usually started in the past. Usually start around 1 or 2 and go till 10 p.m.
Oh my gosh, that's a long day for you.
Yeah.
Do you have to buy tickets or anything? Will there be a cover?
This year, I think we decided we're not going to have a cover, no tickets this year. We're going to ask for donations, and hopefully
Oh, okay.
we'll get some donations from people. I remember when the Fluid Events Center had their Blues Brews and Barbecue. There were some years where they just asked for donations, and they had a suggested donation of $10, but they didn't make you pay anything. But I think a lot of people did give them $10, so we'll see how that goes. I think we're pretty well off right now, so I think that will work out because we won't have some expenses that we used to have with the fairgrounds, so it will be
Yeah.
a little less expensive for us.
And is this family friendly?
Yeah, it should be.
Awesome. I love family friendly events. And then Saturday you got another full day and lineup. Um,
Yeah.
and you're talking possibly switching stages from Rose Bowl parking lot to Bunny's parking lot.
Yeah, we might have alternating stages, like one band at the Rose Bowl, and then when they got done, you go over to uh Bunny's while another one sets up at the Rose Bowl, back and forth like that. So it's a minimum time between bands playing. They don't have to set up a lot.
That's great. And this is Prairie Crossroads Blues Society,
Yeah,
which you're a huge part of.
yeah.
So I'm sure that you'll make sure it's on the event list.
Yes.
So, let's talk a little bit about the event list because that became your baby when I got injured.
Yeah.
I seen what such a great job that you did that I never even attempted to take that
Mhm.
back. And I'm not sure to this day if I would be able to do the event list the way that you do because and to create something, compile something um, to that length that you go to, which even on Wednesdays you do Wednesdays with the Wednesday event list, you do a preliminary weekend.
Yeah.
So you'll have Friday, Saturday, and Sundays events on with Wednesdays, and then for the rest of the week, you just continue to update that and keep that current. So, how long does it take you to do that event list?
Um, well, I was going to say I have actually saved all of those event lists from when I started doing it on my computer. And I've noticed that
Oh my God, I love that.
in the early days, well, it was mostly just the Champaign Urbana area and maybe a few of the towns around like Tolono and things like that, Mahamat. And I don't know, I just started expanding the area until it's come out to like most things happening as far out as Springfield and
Peoria and
Peoria, Bloomington, Decatur, and Danville. Some of the stuff in uh, Western Indiana. There's a few places that have bands over there, and uh, I have a huge list of websites, Facebook pages of both venues and the bands that I look at, and it usually takes, I don't know, between 8 and 12 hours a week. I usually spend most of that on the weekends doing it. I put most of it together on the weekend and then have it ready by Tuesday.
and then how ahead of time do you do the event list? Like, for instance, Monday's event list, when would you have gotten that compiled and ready to go? Because you do a scheduled post, so that like at midnight the following day will come up on the
Usually,
page.
yeah, usually around 10 p.m. was when I put them on there. But over the weekend, I usually have Mondays ready over the weekend sometime, and there usually isn't a whole lot happening on Mondays. I think everybody's worn out from what they've done over the weekend, and Monday's a light day. Two things I try to get on there are weft sessions, which in the past have been live performances in their studio from 10 to 11 p.m. on Monday, and they invited people to come in. And then when COVID hit, they uh, cut out the coming in. I don't know if they had very many during that time period, but when they started again, they I think they have a limit of like maybe half a dozen people in the studio. So it's usually just whatever band they have for weft sessions plus maybe one or two people. That's about it. And the other one that regularly has music on Mondays is the Alamo in Springfield has blues night every Monday night. So I try to get those on there. And Rose Bowl's got something going every night of the week now. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
at like
so
different times too. They might have
yeah,
three different bands in one evening, and one's early, one's, semi-early, and then they have a later one.
yeah.
So that's pretty good. But this is like, that's a lot of time that you invest in doing that, and you've got a system. There's no doubt about that. You have a
Yeah.
system. I'm just, like I said, I don't know if I so appreciate that you do that, and so does everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody appreciates that you can, you're so you're very detailed about it too, and we had discussed not doing like the outer areas or the places of distance, for instance, Springfield or Peoria. You kind of discussed maybe knocking that off, and so then we decided, no, well, let's do a post about it and see. And so you did, and it was a resounding, no, we want this. We still want you to cover all these areas. So
Yeah.
so, we did. We stay with that. But I mean, do you ever get like, I don't want to do this event list? You ever?
Uh, well, I have some leeway in the time that I do it. Sometimes I think, well, I don't want to do it just now, so I'll work on it later on. I always get it done in time, but every once in a while I don't know, if I had a time that I usually did it, I get the feeling, yeah, I don't really want to do that now, so I'll work on it later. But something as far as what you just mentioned, it's interesting. I've had musicians from as far away as Springfield tell me, the people who go to hear the music go to find out what bands are playing in the area. Some of the musicians look at it to find out what their competition is. Who else
Yeah,
is
they
playing in
did
this
that.
area?
Yeah, musicians told me that in the beginning when we first
Yeah,
started the event list. They're like, "Do you know the reason we go and look at the event list?" I'm like, "No, well, not really. You know why? Well, because we want to see what competition, who else is playing,
yeah,
around that area where we are, and what else is going on." Um, so yeah, but that's definitely just a huge task that you took on, and you do it so well. I don't even imagine. Like, I remember when I first started it, and I would go to Facebook pages and, this and that. And then it got to where people were reaching out to us. So we didn't have to like go to these different pages, but, they would reach out to us. Or then Facebook got, to where you could add the events to our page, which I do that to a lot of events. I go ahead and add them to our events,
yeah,
and that helps to get a better reach for them. So,
yeah.
but it's interesting. What made you? When did you decide to go to the out? What made you go? Yeah, we're gonna get Springfield and this and that. Did people reach out to you in those areas?
Uh, I don't think so. It just kind of happened gradually. I think when some of the local musicians ended up playing in Bloomington and Decatur, Billy Galt and the Blues Deacons have shows they get in Decatur and Bloomington and once in a while in Springfield. And I started including those, and then I stumbled upon other bands in those areas, and it just sort of gradually happened. I guess it was interesting how it did. I didn't give it a lot of thought or anything. It just
No,
sort of
just did it.
grew
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's how. Well, that's how the page started. I just
yeah.
like opened it up and was like, I don't want to put these photos on a regular photo page, And within like
Mhm.
5 minutes, I had the name and posted, and boom, there it went.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So, and it's been because we're on 10 years, so happy anniversary. In case I didn't tell you that when we had our 10
nice.
year anniversary. Um, but I like the fact that this year I think we've added um, some different things. I think due to COVID and just better, we have to have constantly have better access to information and things of interest. I feel, and I think due to COVID is when I guess I always kind of wanted to do a podcast anyway. But I was like, I just never had the time to go, oh, well, what will it take and what do we need to do? And then after COVID in 2021, then I was like, in January of this year, I finished up all my shoots, I finished up all my stuff, and I was like, well, now let's do this. Let's do it. And
Yeah,
and I do love the podcast because um, we get to interview so many interesting people. We get to know
yes,
the musician.
yes,
We get to know the musician, and that has been the most fun. Um, and I'm sure you would agree.
yes,
I've learned so many things about the musicians that we've had on, and like sound engineers, and just I have learned so many things, and it's been fun. It's been so interesting. Uh, so this is something I want to definitely keep going. I hope we can do in person sometime soon, which I'd like to set my studio up and do that. Maybe, I don't know.
that'd be
Um,
interesting. Yeah, that'd be fun.
yeah, I would love to do that. I think we could do it. I've been thinking about it, And I think in person would be, it would be just fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about doing that, but and then also the Look Before You book that we kicked up. The reason for that was because honestly, I was just getting messages after messages of people looking for certain music or certain entertainment. Um, and I'm telling you, I was going to people's Facebook page, getting their information, cut, paste, bringing it over, and giving it to this person, and and so many suggestions, and then going, well, let me just make a post about it, and then give me the contact information so that these people can, when they tag each other, it's like that's the person to contact, and it was a lot of time. It was very time consuming. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. This is what we're going to do, and it's slow starting, because I don't think it's as easy for people as it is to go to Facebook. They'll just go to Facebook and go to our page and look for things. And so as I'm going to stay on it though. It's what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it. And and it is extremely reasonable. It's an amazing idea. I believe in it. So that's the way it is. So that being said, what else do we got going on, Zach? Homegrown KIO, 107.9 FM on Sundays
Oh
at
yeah.
7.
Little
Yeah,
Shredder,
that's been a really good kind of partnership.
yeah.
That Homegrown KIO is so much fun to listen to
Mhm.
from 7 to 8 on Sundays, and it's just for them to, like yesterday they played current local music.
Yeah, I heard
A
some of it.
lot,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of it. So that's exciting to me to hear our local musicians, on WKIO. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting. So
Yeah.
that's been a good partnership. It's been a good thing. Um, and we're also kind of like partnering up with Canopy Club and kind of like going to do some cross promoting with them, which is a good thing as well, because the Canopy Club's got, I mean, they're bringing in some pretty great music.
Yeah, they bring in a lot of national acts too
Yeah,
that
yeah,
other places don't get.
yeah. So that's good. That's awesome. There's some different opportunities that are, on the horizon, but our main interest, our main goal, is always to make sure people know where the music is and get it in the hands of them and the event list and that kind of a thing. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out some way to do a subscription where we can text the event list to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm always thinking just different, all kinds of different things. But uh, but it's been a blast. Okay, so in the 10 years of, because you've been with me, I started this 10 years ago in May, and then you came along. Let me see, I had you join me, was it 6 months
Yeah,
into it
I
or
think it
the
was
after?
around maybe September,
Yes,
maybe
I started
September.
May, June, July, August, September. So yeah, about 5 months. Um, so had you heard of CU Bands and Fans before? Or just through like meeting me, being out and
I think I had heard of it. I think I had liked the page and was following
you
it.
were a fan. Yay.
Yeah.
So, so because when I asked you to be a part of this, you just jumped. You were just like, yeah, you know, yeah, I'll do it. And I was like, fantastic. Yeah. So and you've been, I couldn't have handpicked a better person to do this with than you. And that is the absolute truth.
Wow.
Um, So what did you think? I mean, what did you when you came into this, what was kind of like your thoughts of, were you just like,
Well, I thought I could contribute as a photographer because I'd been taking some band photos earlier than that. I'd taken photos of quite a few of the great cover-ups and other things, and I figured, yeah, I'd like to take some photos of bands, and I've learned so much over the years about doing that. I look back at the photos I took back there 10 years ago, and I think, well, that's really not the greatest photo, but
My God, me too.
they were okay. But I think,
I almost cringe when
yeah,
I look back at my beginning photos. I'm like, ugh. I'm close to going. I should probably delete that album, but I don't do it because of the history of it.
yeah,
You know, so, but I'm the same way. I'm like, what was I thinking? You know, and taking that. My God, and even edited the way I edited. Oh,
hmm
brother. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Been getting, and the whole, oh, dear God. But
hmm
anyway, yeah, learned a lot.
yeah,
Um, and learned a lot about, you know, because musicians, they're constantly moving and the lights constantly changing. And so it does take a little bit of knowledge and savvy to get those shots. But you were always good. Um, did they have a great cover up 2021?
no, they haven't had one since uh
COVID?
I think there was one in 2020. They haven't had one since then. I asked about this year and was told maybe we might do something in summer, but that hasn't materialized. So I'm guessing there won't be one this year either. Hopefully next year there will be.
Because I mean, I don't know how many you've been to, but you were always covering that.
I've been to almost all of them, and I probably
Yeah,
started taking photos of them back in the early 2000s, maybe.
yeah,
But
yeah. You
yeah,
were always covering that. You looked
yeah,
forward to it. I mean,
yes,
the great cover up is what a fantastic show.
yeah.
I mean, that is. Yeah, I hope that they do bring that back at some point. And do you know anything about the Sweet Corn Festival? They're not going to have that this
I
year?
don't think so. Well, the Urbana Business Association declared bankruptcy and they don't exist anymore. They were people who put that on, and no one has taken it over since then. So
Did not know that.
it's not, I don't know if it's going to happen again or not.
Oh, that now see, that's a shame.
Yeah,
That's really a shame.
yeah,
Yeah, so there's so many things like that that are not happening anymore.
yeah,
But as I can't remember the way Ian Shepherd worded it, but he said that it goes like that, and
yeah,
we're in one of these right now, so it'll do that again, with just different events, I guess.
yeah. Fortunately, we have these smaller things during the summer anyway, like Friday Night Live and the downtown Champaign things once a month during the summer.
Oh yeah,
Street
and the
Fest.
Taylor Street,
Yeah,
they have that
to-
now.
Toast to Taylor
Yeah,
Street. Yeah,
yeah. So, and that's good. And I love the summer thing when, people can be out and outside and hear music and pull up a lawn chair or just whatever.
yeah,
Um, because, yeah, they used to have the Champagne Street Fest,
yeah,
and that would be packed.
yeah,
I mean, just packed. But yeah, so I miss all that kind of stuff. But we do have new stuff happening, and um, you know, the music has changed. There's been a lot of different. We've seen some new bands rise up out of the
hmm
horizon, and
yeah,
they're doing very well.
yes,
Um, yeah, so yeah, just keep plugging them and putting them on the event list. And I love that people let us know when something's not on there.
yeah,
You know, they'll kindly say, hey, add this or that, and we're like, okay, no
yeah,
problem. We go back and edit it and do it.
yeah,
Which is that's one good thing about Facebook is we can go and edit that post.
Right.
It's not a permanent post, so we can go and edit it and change it and revise it. Um, but but at some point, I mean, I wanted to put it on like more of a kind of a poster type. You just can't do that with the event list because it's ever changing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And we have weather cancellations sometimes and stuff like that. So I do put it on our website though,
Yeah.
and I try to remember if there's been a change to go to the website and change it. But
Yeah.
other than that, so what's been your greatest moment, do you think, with CU bands and fans? I mean, me and you, we've had some pretty amazing moments. I'll never forget when we went to, um, I'll never forget because we walked into the Red Lion reunion together.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and I remember like looking at you and you looked at me and I was like, I can't believe we get to do this. This is, I can't believe we're here. You know, getting to be a part of that and hearing all that music. And then when REO came on the big screens and gave everybody a shout out and stuff, my God,
Yeah.
it was just so great. But yeah, I think you've got to do and experience probably a few more things like that than me. I think I've stayed on just the different parts of it. The cool thing about you is that there's this part of the music scene that you are always really good about covering, and you're always bringing up, things that I've not heard of. So I go, oh, okay, cool. Who is this person and who is that? And so it kind of introduces me to that, and then I'm more of the like kind of cover band and singer songwriter, making sure that they're all getting covered, and so it's such a good balance with you and I,
Yeah, I
and
really miss the boom jams. I don't know if they're going to start
I
those again or not.
know that was one of the best things. That was
Yeah.
so much fun, and I don't. I know I missed a few of those. You never missed any of them.
I was at almost all of them. Yeah.
Almost all of them, and I didn't miss too many, but I did miss some. But it was every time you went, it was a blast.
Yeah.
Every time you went to a boom jam, it was an absolute blast.
Yeah. And there were people who got bands together, got new bands together, boom jam, and then became a new band because of that. And those were always so much fun. I really
Yeah,
like those.
yeah, and they quit those in 2020, obviously because of
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
And yeah, not sure if that's another thing that's going to come back or not.
I don't know. I haven't heard.
Um, and then we quit doing original artist night um, due
Yeah.
to COVID. And so I'm just batting around different ideas of bringing that back.
Yeah.
And if we do it, I'd want to do it outside.
Yeah.
I think. I
That'd be
think that
nice during the summer. Yeah.
yeah, I think that would be best. And I think to do it just during the
Yeah.
summer and early fall, and then kick it back up the following summer. But I'm kind of thinking, because my studio's there, and I know I'm kind of thinking of Villa Grove in that grassy area event center.
Oh, that little stage they have. Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got a stage, they've got electricity, it's got a roof. They can bring their stuff in right there by the stage. Come down the alley, open that
Mhm.
gate, and then bring their stuff in, and they can haul out just as quickly. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe, but I need to get on it because it's
Yeah.
like July. It's
Yeah.
like mid-July right now.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do that in August, September, October, and then
November's kind of iffy, but it might be okay.
yeah,
November is
maybe
weird.
early November.
Yeah.
We might be able to get one in there early November. So that would be August, September. And we've got interest for it,
Mhm.
you know, to for I mean there's we know a lot of people that would play.
Yeah.
So So I need to kind of get on that, but it's something I definitely want to bring back. I don't want to let that go. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, there's people I know who we never had on there who I thought it'd be great to ask them. Uh, and then COVID hit and we stopped doing it. But yeah, it'd be fun to have some of those people who got a lot of original music that I
Mm,
know who would be fun to have on there.
they could sell their, I mean, they could bring their merch and
Yeah,
do all of that, and maybe we could do that in because we had always had our anniversary, big bash celebration with all kinds of different music, and I don't see that happening again either
yeah,
for a while, for a long while. So,
yeah.
um, and maybe we will at some, mark our anniversary thing. Um, you know, I don't know, but I think that the original artist thing I think is kind of important. So
Yeah,
I think we
yeah,
should kick it back up.
yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I should probably let you go. You mentioned you were up late
Yeah.
processing film. I love that so much that you were up late developing film. um,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm looking forward to being at the Blues Fest this year. And well, let me ask you this before I let you go. So are you still doing uh, the Grateful Dead session?
Grateful Dead hour. Yeah, in fact, this weekend, this Saturday night, I'm doing it.
And how often do you do that? Go ahead and give yourself a plug for that.
We have
That's all
we
left.
have 4 or 5 people as a little group. We try to distribute it out uh, through the month so that each of us only has to do it once in a month. Uh, Sometimes when there's 5 Saturdays in a month, that's a little tricky and someone has to do it twice in a month. But generally, that's what we do. We have enough people who we can spread it out that way, and each person does it once a month. And the Grateful Dead Hour is produced by David Gans in Oregon. That's a packaged thing that we download and then just play it. But then the following hour is what we call the vault show, where the person who's doing the show gets to pick some live show that he can find a recording of. Doesn't matter what it is, what genre, it could be anything as long as it's a live recording. And uh, those get pretty diverse. Some of the people have
That's pretty
stuff.
cool.
I never would have thought some of these people would come up with the shows that they make.
So, do you get a heads up of what it is before or no? You
um,
just like play it, or do you?
the Grateful Dead Hour, usually that's available for download the Monday of the week. So I usually download that sometime during the week and I put it on a thumb drive. They have a CD player that has the capability of playing MP3s off a thumb drive. And I think that's the most reliable way of doing it because some people have played it live or not live, but they played it off internet and internet has gone down or there's been problems with it. But I found if I download it in advance and just have it on the drive, it's a sure thing I'll get to do it. As far as the vault show, that's each person picks that. So I sometimes think what will be good. I'd say most of them are Grateful Dead shows that you can find on archive.org. Uh, but I've played a lot of other stuffs. I have a bunch of uh, shows like The Mighty Pranksters and The Surreal Deal and a few others that Mike Feldman gave me recordings of that he'd recorded. I have some Kilborn Alley shows that were given to me that someone recorded, and then I find a lot of other stuff on internet, which is just about everything, a little bit of everything.
That's really cool.
I picked I came up with a recording of a Moxie Fruvis show that was in Chicago that I was at, and I played that on the Vault show once.
Oh my
That was
God.
interesting.
How long ago was that? Do you know?
1999 or
Oh
2000,
my
somewhere around there.
God. So that's the thing about you, Zach. There's so much history with you. Um, so that brings me. You mentioned Surreal Deal. How much do you miss them?
I really miss them. They
Yes.
nobody else in town is playing that music. Uh, and I've heard rumors they may have a reunion in August or September, but nothing, no definite date for it yet. Mighty Pranksters, I'm guessing they probably won't have another reunion, mainly because there's one member of that who lives in Chicago and he's really busy doing mostly solo shows, I think, in Chicago. He's got practically the whole year booked up, so it's really difficult to get him down here. So I kind of think they won't, but I've heard that this Real Deal might have a reunion, so
Yeah, I
that'd be
bet. See
great. Yeah,
that? Yeah, when you mentioned them, I was like, oh yeah, that was another one. We had such a blast at their shows at the Rose Bowl,
yeah.
the old Rose Bowl, and that was another one that you were always there. You
Yeah,
know.
well, I saw them before they even had a name. They were playing every Tuesday or Wednesday night at the office in Urbana.
Oh my
And
gosh, I forgot the office. Oh my gosh.
and it was late. It was late. They go from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Play into the morning. And when they started out, they didn't have a name. I remember Jeff Kerr saying, "We got this band together. We don't know what we're going to call it, but we're playing at the office." So I went and saw them there most of the time, and made the next day interesting because they played so late. But it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, see, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
you've always been a fan of them. Like you've
yeah.
always been there and supporting them, and they absolutely loved you. And I think, are they the ones that wrote, Zach Lives Here on the poster that used to hang
Oh,
on the,
that
behind
happened at one of their shows. Yeah, someone.
because
I
the
think.
poster originally said
Yeah,
Jack meaning Jack Daniels,
right.
lives here or something like that, is here. I don't know what it was, but somebody took it. No, it was Bill Harriett.
Right. It
It
was Bill
was
Harriott.
and Bill Harriett. Oh my God.
Yes.
He goes, "Do you have a black magic marker?" And I go, "I think so, because I think I have one in my camera bag." And I go, what are you going to do? And he goes, "I'm just going to change that to Zach." And I go, "Sweet." So I gave him one, and he went up there and did that. That's right. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I can't believe I
Yeah.
forgot about that. So it was Bill Harriott that did that. But I
Yes.
believe it was at a Surreal Deal show.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I have that poster somewhere around here.
Yeah,
That
I
you
made,
see.
because when they took that down finally, because it was in all our pictures, at the
Mhm.
Rose Bowl, it was like that big, Zach lives here and all that. But he took it down, and so I went in there, and I think it was your birthday was coming up. So I went in there and I go, "What did you do with that poster that was back there, that the Jack Daniels one it says Zach lives here?" And he goes, "It's downstairs." And I go, "Well, can you find that, because I'd like to give that to Zach." And he was like, "Yeah." So it took him a little while. It took him, I think, a couple of days actually. So
Yeah.
he finally found it, and then I gave it to you. See,
Well,
that's a part
well,
that
I
it's
still
little
have
things like that, you know.
it.
So
Yeah.
we have had a blast. I can't say we haven't. We have
Yeah.
definitely had a blast,
Yeah.
and more to come. So our you mentioned Kilbourne Alley, so that reminded me that we have Andy Duncanson and Kilbourne with Kilbourne Alley, not next Tuesday, but the following. Next Tuesday we have Brand New Sky. Is It's Brand New Sky, right? Let me make sure.
Yeah.
Yep, Brand New Sky, and they are going to debut a song that they have not released yet on our podcast.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. I can't wait. So, but I should let you go, Zach. It's been great chatting with you, and
Yeah.
thanks for let's just hang out and do this podcast thing tonight, and we will see you on the event list.
Yeah.
All right, have a good night.
Good night.